Head to Knoxville, don't be late. Baker's Live, it's gonna be great. June 5th and 6th, mark your date at Dollywood, we'll celebrate. Meet Baker and more cool friends. Live show magic that never ends. Come to Dollywood, feel the vibe. With great people there, it's gonna be a ride. Rides, fun, and meet and greet. Baker and pals, the crew's so sweet. Get ready for laughs, cheers, and thrills. Knoxville's the place, it's giving chills. Meet Baker and more cool friends. Live show magic that never ends. Come to Dollywood, feel the vibe. With great people there, it's gonna be a ride. June 5th and 6th, don't miss the fun. Meet Baker and friends, it's second to none. Don't miss the fun. Meet Baker and friends, it's second to none.
And we're back, y'all. Welcome back to this afternoon that can only be better than this morning because it's Friday. Gotta get down on Fridays. Was it Rebecca Black who was like 30 years old when they dressed her up like a teenager and sang high school songs? Or was it someone else? Well, hopefully, we will get to something interesting this time. We had 90 minutes of videos we couldn't see, and then we had a doctor who told about the injuries, which were quite severe, that he was very close to losing his life, which is probably why it is an attempted unaliving. Other than that, nothing else has happened today. Well, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it. That's actually a lie because I watched that it would be coming on today, but it could be one of those cases where there could be some mitigating factors in it, but I don't know. Maybe a little bit too far to stabulate him out of this world. Maybe give him a good beating and throw the wife out. You are asking the chat how they vote. Guy got hit with a few snow pies. Grow up. Should have never gone to trial. Well, I wish we had seen that video about the confrontation, but I have a problem with him walking 5 steps and then finishing the job. Well, he didn't finish the job. But I do have a problem with that. That's but I don't know if I came home and found my wife banging an 18-year-old. First of all, I would be surprised because I'm not married, and I would think, am I in the wrong house? And I don't even think I would do anything to him other than just take him in his scrawny little body and throw him out, and then throw her out right next to him. That's what I think I would do, because oh no, can't make a wife out of a garden tool. Open shot, he's feck, but I guess I understand the passion behind it. Well, it's the wrong time to do cardio. You can pew-pew him from 5 feet away, or you shouldn't be pew-pewing. Yes, crime of passion is a defense. And if that's his defense, as I said, there's mitigating factors. You got the order wrong, but agree on the course of action. Well, I'm assuming he's on top, so that's why I'm going to throw him out first. We actually had a guy here in Denmark who had been in a divorce. Well, he was divorced and got invited over to his ex-wife's house, and let's just talk about it. It's been a bad divorce and stuff like that. And she made him dinner, served some wine, and then she said, by the way, just like Jamie, I need some bacon wrapped sausage. And he misunderstood the task and didn't buy her a hot dog, but went with her into the bedroom. And when he had finished his business, she said, haha, now your DNA is inside me, and you'll never see the kids again because I'll just say it's grape. And he unalived her. And I think he got 5 years in prison. Because that was a crime of passion, but still not legal to unalive. So I believe he got 5 or 6 years in prison. You liked... I said he misunderstood what it was I was asking for. Rumble, please. Well, I thought I set it up for Rumble. Well, yesterday it cut out Rumble in the middle of it, and today it didn't start. So it should be live. Let me just... Yeah, it's live now. Hey, Rumblers, sorry. I don't know if it's StreamYard that can't communicate with Rumble or Rumble that's very unstable, but it's been kind of up and down the last couple of days.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. You may be seated. Councilman, just approach for one quick second.
Hey, everyone. I had a big steak dinner and a couple of scotches. What do you say? Early Friday?
All right, Jerry, entry.
I'm still annoyed that it's the biggest competition, but it's just very unstable, and it's really annoying to set up, because everything on YouTube or Twitch or the Twitch, I can set up just through one system.
Please be seated.
Rumble, I would have to go in, set everything up over there, and then I have to...
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming back. Not that you're any choice, right? I hope you enjoyed your lunch. I heard it was very nice outside, and some of you got to walk around out there. I'm sorry we're not doing the view today, right? It would have been a good day for the view. I do have to give you some preliminary instructions before we hear from this next witness. So, as you can imagine, it's often anxiety-producing for people to testify in court, and sometimes witnesses ask the court to make certain accommodations for them, as comes up sometimes. We were asked by this witness to allow her to use a comfort animal to help her get through her testimony. The counsel for the parties have not objected to that. The court has reviewed the request and thinks that it meets all of the policies of the court. I've been assured that it won't be any distraction. If it were to become a distraction, we could deal with that. I will instruct you, you're not to give that, the fact that this.
What comfort animal are we going with? I'm saying boa constrictor. Boa constrictor is my comfort animal. Christine Blair is going with a monkey. Esprit Freck says smack my hiney. Valhalla is saying lizard. Ginger saying bunny. Marissa is alligator. I haven't heard anyone having an alligator as a pet other than Little D. Danny T wants a pig. Plant Fan is saying a giraffe. Victoria K is saying bunny. Tracy is saying a lion. Gotta be a goat. It'll be a cat. Dave has a bear. Well, we're just guessing comfort animals. Kitty, golden retriever. I'm boa constrictor. Come on, Snakey. There was one in New York as well, 6 feet long or something like that. He had it in his bathtub. I'm like, how insane? Because if it want to go through one of those doors in an apartment, it'll go through a door in an apartment. Since we are in New Hampshire, how about a Republican? Yeah, they don't have many of those up there. Doggo, drop bear. It's probably a boring dog. Maybe it's a chlamydia pigeon. A chicken could be good. Yeah, Jamie is going with the pants pigeon.
This witness has a comfort animal. It should not play any part in your deliberations in any way. So you're not to wait to get anyway. The state should call its next witness.
Let's get the boa constrictor.
Thank you.
And we have an official court call. Come on.
I just realized
boa.
I didn't mention what kind of animal it was. It's a rat.
It's a rat. It's a. Please let this be a jailhouse snitch. Marissa, why do you need to spoil the fun every time?
Raise your right hand. You swear that any testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the faith and counsel of the church? I do. All right. You can be seated right here. Make yourself comfortable. Just asking you to scoot up as close to the microphone as you can and keep your voice up so people can hear you, okay? Okay. And whenever
It's probably the daughter of the defendant. Could be.
you're ready, and whenever counsel is ready, you may inquire.
Good?
Yes.
Great. Can you begin just by stating your full name and spelling your name for the court reporter, please?
Kira Levesque, Kiralevesque.
And, you know, I want to be sensitive about some privacy issues, so I'm not going to ask about current, but I'd like to go back to April of last year and ask you where you were living on April 4th of 2024.
41 Summer Street.
Would you live there what?
My dad and my grandparents live downstairs.
Who were the neighbors, as you know?
Kyle and Angela.
Let's move directly into the 4th. What were you doing earlier in the day or earlier in the evening of the 4th?
I was working.
And was that in Rochester?
Yes.
How'd you get home?
My dad picked me up from work.
And what did he pick you up in?
A plow truck.
Was your dad doing plowing as a job at that time?
He was.
And can you then describe for us what happened initially, right when you got home?
We got home and we just started plowing our driveway like normal during a storm.
And you say plowing the driveway, then this was, I think we've all heard this, we've seen some photos and video, whatever, it's snowing pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And can you just describe the sequence of events in plowing as you recall it?
We got home, we were plowing like down towards into our driveway, and we were doing that for a couple minutes, and then
Stop
we
it.
switched around so we could get like coming
I can't take it
towards
seriously.
like the opposite end of the street, and we're plowing it like into our porch.
And so let me just clarify, you lived in 41,
Yep.
the Violettes lived in 43.
I'm sorry, but people really need to grow a pair. Valhalla, how many support animals were you given when you were deployed? Yeah, I know you were in a tragic thing, but you're stroking a rabbit's ears in court like you're giving a handy. Come on now, you're grown up. 50 years ago, people went hungry in your country. You fought for civil rights. And now we need a pet rabbit in court. Because this was very terrifying. Imagine if the people in Selma had said, hey, can you keep the dogs back? Because we are actually having our pet rabbit here, and they frightened it. They get frightened with the dogs. So, Jeepers creepers. Stop accommodating this. Tell them to grow a pair. You're grown-ups. Right now we are on the brink of, I know you're not that close, but we have the big Ruskies. Do you think there's many support rabbits in Ukraine? Do you think the Syrian population is saying, hey, can I get a rabbit too?
I kind of want
Jeez, I can't with these people. Come on now.
When you originally described plowing towards your driveway, you're talking about plowing at an angle across 41,
Yes.
and then turned around and went towards 43.
Yes.
You know, without getting into too much detail, were
Please
you
don't
aware
give a hand
of
job to
some
that rabbit.
prior, even if you want to call them incidents or however you want to characterize it, between your dad and Mr. Violette about the snow
Blubber number.
situation?
No.
You
I'd
had
like to know. You should have asked her.
previously talked about a snowstorm the previous year. You recall that?
No.
So, Kira, I want to be, just fair with you that this event is now, a year old. I'm going to guess that there are parts of this you actually try not to remember.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
But do you remember making a start maybe into the 5th down at the police station?
Yes.
You were informed that it was being recorded.
Yes.
And so I actually have a transcript that is a written version of that statement.
Okay.
And then my question to you is whether or not seeing, reading aspects of that transcript might help your memory.
I'll look at it.
Okay.
Pardon me? Would you like to ask me to approach counsel?
Yeah, just for a second.
While they're giving her a transcript of her own report, you use that to impeach her memory. Then they could just read her testimony if she's given the transcript. That's weird. Shouldn't be allowed to do that. It's not Jen McCabe.
The rabbit is so cute, though. It looks exactly like the rabbit my brother used to have, but he kept it out. He made it a little place outside, and like a hawk came and snatched it up and took it away.
Thanks. Fred, I'd ask you whether you remember a prior incident between your dad and Kyle about where the snow was going between them.
Yeah, but she's she's the daughter. You want her to impeach her with her if she's making new testimony.
Properties. Remember any of that?
No.
And then I had referred to a prior statement that night that you had made, and just asking if it would refresh your memory. Seeing it.
Hey, didn't I say this afternoon will get better, and Fluffernutter is now making everything better? And look at this cute little face.
No.
He's looking at the jury as a good witness should do.
Yeah.
And he's just, Mom, can we get out of here? Cabbages to be eaten. Let's talky talk.
I want to get a rabbit now.
Line 20. I wonder if you could just read this.
I can't see it.
Yeah, you can take it. Well, this whole paragraph, you can read yourself.
Yes, defendants.
Let me know if that helps you now.
Brandon will get in on the Zoom. Oh my. Jamie, don't read this.
Kyle was there.
Okay.
Does that help?
I don't remember that.
Aww. Panda. Big hugs.
So when police officers asked last year about kind of any prior snowstorm incidents, you did answer them. You said
It's a
last
support
winter,
animal.
There was this kind of conversation between Kyle and Jason, right?
Okay.
Well, those are your words, not mine.
Yes.
And you told the officers, yeah, I mean, there was this incident where Kyle was moving snow and it went onto your property, and your dad told Kyle not to move it there, right?
Okay.
Well, you say okay. Those were your
I mean,
words,
if I
right?
said it, then yeah, I just don't remember.
Okay, that's fair. But you'd agree with me, these are your words.
Yes.
And we also went on to talk about a snowstorm, the first snowstorm of 2024. And that's right here. You can read that to yourself.
Yeah, I don't like that. Oh, traumatic brain injury. I was sitting here thinking, what the heck is TBI?
Okay.
Question to the Yanks. In Denmark, if you are the kid of the defendant, you are allowed to say, I don't want to testify. If you have the same like spousal privilege. You also have it if you're testifying against your kids. Is it only spousal privilege, or does it extend to your kids as well?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure. I thought it was just spouse. But good question.
Not to the children. Oh, that's kind of a dickish move. Remember Jen McCabe? Try not to. But every time
I try not to.
every time I see the Kentucky Derby, I think, look at the Jen McCabe.
Does that help your memory?
I mean, I don't remember, but
But you told the
she's just guessing.
investigators that
Medita. She was also in trauma at the time with the whole thing that went down and her dad being locked up. My point, can't be in the right state of mind at the time. Well, we always have, well, if there are witnesses to pew-pewings, they will ask them, so. can't see how really badly. You can see she's trying to do it with one hand. But that's stupid that you can force kids to testify against their parents and parents to testify against the kids. Because actually, no, that's we had a girlfriend, but she was given spousal rights because they had been a couple for 5 years, I believe. But she testified and said the total opposite of what other witnesses had told us. No, we didn't have an argument. Other witnesses, yeah, he threw her around outside on the parking lot a lot. So, yeah. Please don't put down the derby, but well, you have pretty horses. Mr. Ed didn't only have nice foals. I'm all for the rabbit, especially since she won't be deemed qualified to testify. The pointlessness of setting this up enhances the experience. If I was on the jury and someone came in and stroked the bunny in front of me, and that's not a euphemism, I would probably sit there and think, what the heck, more than I would listen to her. Yeah, they're just gonna read her testimony to her, and she's gonna say, okay. Well, then it's Sue's problem. Has anyone seen The Expert's Wife? I have. I spent a week with her. She is very, very wonderful. Except she likes moon pie. And I don't like moon pie. Defendant's daughter. Victim's daughter was the first witness we had 2 days ago. This is the defendant's daughter. And again, do we need her? Well, to testify about the argument, maybe.
Well, she apparently heard him say,
Yeah, I'm gonna unalive you.
no, should I run after he did it?
Oh, yeah.
That was the statement that the prosecution said he made to her.
Yeah, no, Ralphie would have Dominic with her if she was to testify.
Yeah.
And then she'll, in the middle of everything, she'll just, it's Dominic the donkey, And they're saying, ma'am, you're accused of unaliving your husband. But it's a Christmas donkey.
But it's a Christmas donkey.
And she'll get a cell with a soft padded wall.
Oh, Ralphie.
Well, she's not saying anything. She's just confirming what they, so she's not even fighting them. So I don't know if she's hostile. I saw one of Ralphie's videos the other day. She was out yelling at her horses. She's kind of like you and me. She yells a lot. And then the horse came running over and she, whoa, because it almost ran her over because she had biscuits for it. Yeah, that's she's not a hostile witness because it's not like she's not wanting. She's just saying, I don't know, I can't remember. Yeah, let's interview the bunny.
Yeah, let's just talk to the bunny.
Yeah, just say I don't recall. It's been a year. The amount of times, because almost all of our cases are rollover cases because we're so backed up since the COVID. I still don't know if we can say on YouTube. So we have a lot of 2023 and 2024 cases coming in right now. Well, mostly 2023. And every time it's been so long I can't remember. It's been 2 years. It's not been that long. How many break-ins have you made that you can't remember this one? Yeah, be careful. It's dinner.
Hi, Lefty.
Oh, it's Lefty's here. I was in Lefty's chat this morning.
Were you?
Yeah, I had to take a shower after.
Oh, God. What was going on?
It was Lefty. No one ever mentioned Lefty Lol and someone who might have had a support animal.
Some legal concerns that have come up, so I'm going to ask that the meeting go on.
Well, we did go for 25 minutes.
But
But does he feed it tricks? Because that's the real crime. Tricks are for kids, silly rabbit. I remember that saying, I didn't know what it was, but when my sister spent a year in high school, they had something, know you're silly, something is for girls. That was another thing that they used to say, and I thought, how did they come up with that? But it's because, know you're silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. Why is all of a sudden all these hiccups?
maybe seated there. Council, you ready?
I am.
So then what happens, we're going to ask you a series of questions about the plan, about the design to determine whether certain documents. So, can you answer their question?
I think you said you remembered going to the police department the night of. Were you aware of really the importance of being truthful?
Yes.
And looking back, do you feel like you were?
Why is...
You made your statement about, or answered their questions about, background and what had happened.
Yes.
And do you feel like you had a better memory of events last year?
Stop with all this.
And the issues I've asked you about.
I'm just gonna try to refresh it to see if that's...
Sean, you quit it.
Now,
Funny stew.
Nope, it's still shitty.
I've showed you.
No.
Yeah, a year ago, accurate.
Thank you. Council, Mr. Marks?
Thanks.
Hi, Mark.
Did the police offer you the opportunity to review your statement at all?
I don't believe so, but I don't remember.
Okay. And can you tell the judge when this statement would have been made relative to the shooting?
Maybe. It was definitely that night.
So it was very quickly afterwards?
I want to say they had me in the back of a cruiser at the house for maybe a half an hour. I'm not really sure. I didn't have my phone out. It was kind of just all a blur and a rush of things, but it was that night.
Okay. And can you tell the judge what you thought your mental condition was then? What was your emotion?
Nope.
I obviously was very shaken up. I was in kind of just like fight or flight. I was in a very high state of anxiety. There, so I was worried that she was going to worry that I was hurt. I obviously was concerned what was happening with my father. I wasn't very focused. I was very high anxiety.
I don't want to delve into too much either, but I mean, you're sitting there with a comfort animal, right?
Yes.
And why is that?
Due to my anxiety.
And were you suffering from such a condition back then?
Yes.
And that on top of the shooting, I mean, did that combine to affect, you think, your recollection and accuracy of events at the
No, they are questioning. They're having a mini voir dire of this witness. They sent the jury out and asking her if she can remember anything, and then they're probably going to read from the police report. I don't know how the rules are. That's what you would do in Denmark. They would say, well, clearly this witness isn't cooperating, Your Honor. Are we allowed to read from the police report? And then they will give an instruction saying, this is what the officer wrote down. It's not, in Denmark, you have to sign it, or you can say, I don't want to sign it. And you can say, I want to read it and still not sign it, or I read it and signed it. But, and then they'll just document what you said at the time and then state, well, they didn't sign it. You can do that with police reports, but you'll have to ask the witness, and if they're uncooperating or, well, I can't remember what I had for breakfast, then we'll just read the exhibits from the police report and say, this is what they said to the police at the time.
Yeah, because she was doing a lot of I don't know. I don't
what
know.
if any?
I think they're getting mad because she has one statement that he made to her that they want to get in.
Yeah. I want a support horse to take to breakfast at hotel. There's one in Lawn and Grim. Can't be that bad of a man if he allows his kid to have a support bunny. Well, that's one way to see it.
One more time?
Yes, could that have affected your accuracy of the events at the time?
When I gave my statement, I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're asking.
Yeah, I mean, we're being asked now, you're being asked, let's go right to it, about some kind of a plowing incident or something like that, some preceding plowing incident.
Okay.
Preceding plowing.
Do you actually have a recollection of that at all?
I remember giving my statement, but I don't remember that event in my statement.
You don't even remember that event in your statement?
No.
And again, this is a statement that you weren't given the opportunity to review, alter, or modify in any way, shape, or form.
I don't believe they gave me the opportunity, no.
You never told them that what was in the statement, you reviewed it and it's accurate and that's exactly what happened. Did you ever tell the police that?
No.
Did you ever sit down with a representative of the state of New Hampshire, the county of Stratford, and say, I've reviewed my statement, I've listened to the audio, and everything in it is true and accurate?
No.
So this is the first time you've been given that opportunity?
Yes.
And after even listening to that, and after what we've just gone through, you still don't recollect any kind of a plowing incident prior to this?
People have been saying it's your wife that she's stroking, which I find
White
highly
rabbit.
inappropriate.
So she's saying that she doesn't even remember the event at all?
No,
No?
it's some kind of plowing event that have happened before this, apparently.
Oh my gosh.
Because they talked about the first snowstorm of the year. So they're going to go back and ask, did Daddy had a little bit of the road rage in another accident? I think, yeah.
No.
Sure of that?
Yes.
Erica?
Thank you.
Your wife likes you and moon pie. I'm questioning certain of her tastes.
Had, as I understand it, an anxiety issue for quite some time.
Yes.
Your anxiety issue doesn't cause you to, for instance, lie.
No.
You were aware that you were speaking to police officers.
Yes.
You were aware you were speaking to police officers about something really important.
Yes.
You were aware at the time that it was important to be honest.
Yes.
You were aware at the time that it was important to be complete and accurate.
Yes.
Your claim now isn't that anything in here is either a lie or not complete or not accurate. Your claim...
No, he's just saying that, can I please use the police report and just read from that, because you knew at the time to tell the truth.
is that you simply don't remember it.
No.
Is that right?
Yes, correct. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But again, just a prior so-called plowing incident or snow blowing incident in the context of a shooting that took place within an hour or so. Was that a big deal to you at the time?
What do you mean?
I mean, was this prior subject of a prior incident in a prior snowstorm at all important to you at that point? I mean, did you think it was a focal point? Did you think that was important?
I still don't understand what you're asking me.
Did the police tell you that it's really important that you accurately tell them about this prior snowstorm?
The one that happened that night or the one before?
The one they claimed that took place before?
No.
And in fact, in your statement, you indicate
Look at the expert. His wife is in court and he's out there trolling for Ralphie. Come on, expert, be better.
Oh, expert.
that it wasn't a big deal? If you remember? Do you remember that at all?
What?
Telling them that it wasn't a big deal?
No.
I didn't know before we started.
One moment, please. Any further?
Yeah, I'll just reiterate that the issues concerning kind of the impact of the moment, to me, go for the weight, not admissibility. By the way, we also have body cam of Officer Sergeant Knox, who was present during that half hour. Candidly, it shows a quite composed young woman, and I'd be glad to play that for the court as well.
Again, the question is, how can you use this thing, right? I mean, impeachment's only good if you can adhere to the statement. I mean, did I say that before? And we're getting an answer that is like, I don't remember ever saying that. So how can you even impeach it? But I'm looking at the rule too. I mean, again, which specific rule are you saying this is going to come in?
Counsel, I think the argument is Rule 8035, recorded recollection, the record that.
So they want to introduce a prior bad act to show he has a history of doing this.
So did he do this before? That's what it's sounding like. They're talking about another incident where he did this to somebody?
What?
I'm confused.
Yeah, because if he spurred out in traffic before, that doesn't mean, again, that's prior bad acts.
Yeah.
On the matter the witness wants to know about, the counsel not recall or testified fully and accurately was made or adopted by the witness in the matter of question of witness memory and accurately reflect the witness knowledge. He will go on to say that she submitted the record to be read in evidence, but it doesn't get received as fully good.
Yeah, it wasn't accepted by her.
It was made.
It was made, but it wasn't accepted. You know what I'm saying?
It was made or adopted. So, Mike, having heard what here of this witness, I'm going to allow the statement to come in to support the recollection. I do find that the witness specified that they don't matter what she wants to know about, if you do not have a call, she will specify at the time.
I'm good with the button.
Actually, including support to the truthful and accurate statements. It was made at the time of the matter of question of memory. And for that reason, we allow the statement to come in. Although, counsel, you're not talking about the full statement.
No.
You're talking about the particular portion that you're interested in having to do with prior compliance.
Yes.
Is the court allowed to get in substantive?
Yeah, comes in the substance.
Because this witness has a support bunny, so we're trying to figure out what is the best support animal to bring to court.
I don't think there's any addition to that, so I'm saying that objection.
Objection of it. It doesn't come in the substance, that's all I indicated. It gets read to the jury. It doesn't get presented to the exhibit.
I understand.
Very good. All right, we'll bring the jury back in. All right, that was a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo to worry about. You just need to answer the question and answer, okay?
Perfect.
Very good.
Ask Diva what truck stops you can do that at. Apparently, she got the good hookup.
Yeah, I can do that.
I don't know what we ended up with. Yep.
Hey, Wendy.
Hey, Wendy H.
I really wish it would have been a rat, because that would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
I thought that's what she said.
This is like a mini one here they had on her memory, so they didn't have to do it in front of the jury. Hey Wendy, you should have been with Jamie in Denmark.
I know, it would have been fun. We would, me, Wendy, and Irish. Geez, oh Pete.
Yeah, I would have stayed. I have met all three of you, and I can tell you, it would have been, my eye rolling would have been so hard, I would have surgery on.
I feel like we all have really different personalities, but we blend so well together, it would have just drove everybody nuts.
Yeah. Hey, Unbalanced.
All rise, jury entry.
Yeah. Her hair. Our tattoo is kind of underappreciated. It's okay.
Please be seated.
Please know we're ready now to move forward with the examination of this witness. Remark, may continue.
Great, thank you. Here, I don't want to make too much of this, but I was asking you questions about whether there had been some prior exchanges between your dad and Kyle about snow moving this way and that way. You were asked about that during your interview with police on the night of the 4th and the 5th.
Yes.
You had said that you don't actually have a memory of those issues now, correct? Is that right?
Yes.
But at the time when you went into the police department, you were aware that it was a really important conversation with the detectives, correct?
Yes.
You knew it had to be a complete, honest,
Stop the hiccups.
you did have certain memories that you just don't have now.
Correct.
And so I asked you, did the investigators ask about the snow going back and forth? And such may approach. And I think you know that
This is annoying.
It really is.
Why does it do that? I don't have any signal problems.
months ago, probably when
Is Court TV covering?
dad was
I think Court TV is covering it if you want to.
Kyle's property.
Got high anxiety. Just checking if they have a feed, because that might be better. Let's do this instead. Let me go back a little bit so we can hear.
aware that it was a really important conversation with the detectives, correct?
Yes.
You was, had to be a complete, honest account, a statement, correct?
Yeah.
And you did that?
Yes.
And at the time when you made that statement a year ago, you did have certain memories that you just don't have now.
Correct.
And so I asked you, did the investigators ask about the snow going back and forth? And you said you couldn't remember.
Correct.
All right. Judge may approach. And I think we've already briefly talked about that back last year, you remembered from the previous winter that Kyle had placed snow on your property, either on the porch. Do you know whether it had anything to do with a maple tree that your dad planted?
I don't remember.
Okay. But that in your statement that was complete and honest and accurate last year, you referenced that Kyle had snowblowed some snow onto your property, correct?
Yes.
And that your dad asked him not to do that.
Yes.
Right. You went on to say another event that you remembered, and then he, being Kyle, bitched to my dad one day a couple of months ago, probably our first snowstorm, that he was pushing snow onto his property. That your dad was, during the first snowstorm, pushing snow onto Kyle's property, correct?
Okay.
And that you described your dad. You said, my dad was just kind of let it go. Because again, it's petty, it's snow. It's going to melt, it's going to go away. Correct?
Yes.
And so that was the first snowstorm. And now, are you aware of, even after the first storm, of whether that conflict continued in any way between Kyle and your dad during any subsequent snowstorms?
I'm not.
Then let's talk about...
Didn't both the mom and I got it from both the mom and the daughter that they had never ever spoken, but apparently they did have a blow up.
The snowstorm on the 4th and the 5th.
Okay.
You described to us, before I asked you about the background, your dad pushing snow past 41 and then towards 43. Can you describe to us what happened after he made...
Everyone who is a little late coming in, this witness asked to bring in her emotional support bunny. It's named Mr. Fluffernutter. She has a very suggestive ear stroke sometimes. And if you're on YouTube, we have a question to try and find out what is the best support animal in court. Bunny, rat, alligator, or pants pigeon. Pants pigeon is one of those risky choices because of the chlamydia.
And we all thought, because the way he said it, it sounded like rat, and we were all dying because we thought she was bringing support rat.
Imagine she brought Valhalla in as support animal.
Oh my God, shut up.
This big shaggy head there, and she was just stroking him.
Are you calling Valhalla a rat? Oh my goodness.
I said he had a big shaggy head that she could just stroke.
Okay.
And then he, in the middle of it, just put his head up and said, "Biobreak, Your Honor."
Those passes on the front edge of the street.
So we had come, like we were plowing towards our house and towards, if you're looking at my house, it's on the right, so not 43, but the one before us. We were plowing the snow towards our fence, towards our yard, and then he flipped around and we started to clear the end, just pushing it towards like before our front steps. And we just kept doing that for a little while. We were clearing the end of our driveway, and then he had to stop plowing.
Okay. Do you remember what was going through your mind when he stopped and pulled up in front of your house, stopped the vehicle?
I just assumed he was done plowing, and I started to get out. And as I looked up and opened my door, I noticed there was someone who was Kyle standing in front of the plow.
Okay. So that's the moment that you notice, Kyle, is when you're actually getting out of the truck.
Yes.
And then can you tell us anything that you heard as Kyle was standing near the plow in front of your truck?
I noticed that he was angry and rocking back and forth a little bit, and I was looking towards my bedroom because my friend was upstairs and I didn't know if she was looking out at me or anything. And then I heard him, I didn't hear anything, and then I heard Kyle.
Now, when you say pigeon, are you referring to a certain type of female that hangs on to shoes too long and ends up walking pigeon-toed? I don't know what pigeon-toed is, but no, I'm talking about Jamie's encounter with the wildlife in Denmark that apparently, according to Iris, spreads chlamydia. And
God,
Iris
she's
don't
something
have
else.
a quiet setting. She has loud and very loud and outside Iris. So
Everywhere she goes, yes.
everyone knows that chlamydia is spread by pigeons now.
I'll tell my dad that if he kept pushing snow towards his house, he was going to kill him and his family.
Okay. Just heard you say that, you heard Kyle say to your dad, if you keep pushing snow onto my property, I'm going to kill you and your family.
Yes.
Is it true that you are, beyond that, your ability to hear things was somewhat compromised? Not perfect,
Yes.
is where you were. But that's something you did hear.
Yes.
Remember the detective asking you, kind of, besides what he said, what he did? Did he do anything that was threatening in your view, of what you observed sitting in the vehicle?
He asked me what he looked like what his actions were.
Do you remember what your answer was when he actually asked you if you saw anything threatening?
I believe that I told him that I didn't see anything threatening, but he seemed angry. He seemed like he was going to throw a punch, but I don't recall saying anything other than that.
Okay. I guess I want to be somewhat careful about, this description and your answer to whether you actually observed some physical act that was threatening from Kyle. Your Honor, may I approach? And in this instance, I'm going to ask whether this, in fact, helps your memory. Counsel, this is 13, line 4 through 7. Thank you.
Maybe she's highly medicated.
You need me to hold this for the
No,
moment?
you're good.
We call them goat droppings.
I can hold the button.
Huh?
I can hold the button.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
So those details kind of help?
Yes.
That your response to whether he did anything threatening was that, well, he rocked back and forth a little bit. Is that right?
Yes.
He said, I don't know if he would have thrown a punch or something, correct?
Correct.
Now, we've seen video, but just confirm, he didn't throw a punch, right?
No.
And when you heard him make that threat, he was right up there next to the vehicle next to your dad.
Yes.
When he was up there close next to your dad, did you see him produce anything sharp, like a weapon?
No.
Anything like a knife or a screwdriver or anything like that?
No.
Did you see or did you hear him make a statement that he had something, a weapon on him, and that he would use it?
No.
And after Kyle was at the front of your dad's truck on the other side, what happened next?
When he was, I'm sorry, I'm confused.
So we've just talked about a period of time when Kyle was very close to your dad.
Yes.
And after those few moments, seconds, what happened? What did Kyle do?
So he had threatened us, and then my dad said something, I'm not sure what. I saw his lips moving. I don't know what was said. And next thing I knew, a shot was fired.
And so let me talk a little bit about that. You said that when Kyle was up next to the truck, you could hear Kyle, but your dad responded.
Yes.
You telling us you don't remember what he said?
No, I don't. I blocked it out.
You blocked it out?
I don't remember. My focus was that he had said that. My little cousin and my best friend were in my house. My safety was their concern. Their safety was my concern.
Totally get it. But best you can do is confirm that your dad responded in some way.
Yes.
Did you watch Kyle walk away back towards his house?
I did not. I was on my phone.
Yeah, her testimony is meh.
But you did see where your dad and Jason were positioned when your dad took out a gun.
He was next to the truck.
And you saw where Kyle was when your dad took out a gun.
Yes.
And can you describe to the jury where Kyle was now?
He was in front of the plow. He was walking backwards, and it was obviously you have to go by my house. So in my mind, he was walking towards my house.
I'm sorry, when the gun came out?
I believe so, yes.
Do you remember what you told the detectives?
I do not.
Your Honor, may I approach? Perhaps this will help your memory.
Nope, it won't.
This is 15, begins at line 8.
She needed some support, so it's an
Good.
emotional support bunny. Its name is.
I want the
Mr.
bunny to
Provenance.
jump out of her hands. Let's
Yeah.
start running around the courtroom. Come on,
His name is
do
Mr.
it.
Is that all your memory of it?
Not really.
Okay, so what, this is the same statement where at the time you did have a memory, correct?
Yes.
And at the time you knew it was important to be
Yes.
truthful. And so what you told the detective when he asked where the shooting took place, you described it and actually drew a little map, but you said Kyle was running. And they asked, the neighbor was running? And you said yes. They asked you, do you know why he was running? You answered, I'm assuming because my dad put out his gun. On the next page, you said, I would assume so. I mean, I would run too. Do you remember that?
I don't.
And do you remember telling the officers when the gun came out that Kyle was moving towards his house, not your house?
I do not.
It's because I didn't turn the audio off. You can't hear me.
I just want to be fair about this. This is page 16, line 1.
It's my emotional
Does that
support.
confirm that when you were talking to detectives, you described the gun being out and that Kyle was moving away towards his own house?
What?
Does that confirm in your mind when the officers asked you, well, what direction was Kyle going in? Towards his own house.
Okay, yes,
Is that truthful and accurate?
yes.
All right, Mark, accept it, please. The diagram associated with the video.
We can go in full.
Okay.
We can go in full.
Well, all right. Page 26. I just,
My problem is just that the things that she clearly remembers and the things she clearly don't remember makes it come off a little bit constructed to me. Would Jamie lie for her dad or snitch? Jamie would lie. Who else would come and change the light bulbs?
I mean, it would really depend on what the situation is.
Maybe the rabbit has. She's the rabbit support animal, and that's why she had to bring it in so it doesn't get anxiety. Could be that way around.
referred to during this conversation with...
Well, this morning was really, really dull, and then someone brought in a rabbit.
Detectives that you had also done a drawing of where people were situated at the shooting.
Okay.
I'm showing you, for the record, what has been marked as States 26. Appears to have your name and date at the top. Is this the drawing that you made?
Yes.
And can you
Exactly, Jess.
show us
I
or
hope
tell
I
us
would never
what
have to
these
be in that
symbols indicate? You're hearing these stars on the street out in front of your driveway.
Those are people.
And which people are these?
So that top one's Kyle. That's my dad and that's me.
And then at the time of the shooting, was that?
I have no idea what that is.
Are you claiming that Kyle was shot directly in front of the plow?
I mean, I don't really remember.
Okay. There happens to be a figure, appears to be a figure, just past the corner of the edge of your house. Are you claiming that's not Kyle?
I don't remember. I don't.
Nevertheless, you were clear with the officers at the time. When the gun came out, Kyle turned away. You characterized it as running towards his own home.
Yes.
And I don't want to, kind of force an experience on you, but did you, so you know you saw him produce the firearm and you saw Kyle react. You describe it. Do you remember him being shot?
I didn't see it. I heard it.
The firearm that your dad had was one that you were familiar with, correct?
I knew of it. I wasn't.
Well, you had gone actually out to the firing range with him and described it as a Glock, right?
Yes.
And so you were familiar with it from literally going to a fire range with your dad?
Yes.
You told investigators that you were aware that your dad took the firearm anytime that he plowed at night?
Yes.
And so that's what I mean by familiar with
Okay, then yes.
the firearm. After you heard the shooting, what did you see?
I saw my dad get back in the truck, and we pulled back into the driveway, and I was very anxious. He was anxious. He started to call, like he dialed 911, and before he could press the call button, they had already been there.
So he couldn't call fast enough? I mean, you say before he was even able to call, they were at the scene?
Yes.
So what was he talking about before he was trying to call 911?
He got back in the truck, and he didn't really say anything. He looked at me, I looked at him, and we pulled in the driveway, and...
Magic tricks are the bunny isn't real. Thank you so much, Wendy. At least use it for something useful. Yes, the defendant is her dad. I'm flabbergasted that this... Now she's just lying because she knows she said something stupid, and they're gonna impeach her, and then she's gonna come off as untrustworthy, and then they look at her rabbit. Maybe it's a hypnotic rabbit, so everyone will believe her. That could be why it is.
Maybe.
Then everybody showed up, the cops showed up. My dad got out of the truck with his hands up.
Do you remember the police asking about what was said inside the truck after your dad shot Kyle?
I don't remember what they asked me, but I remember they asked me questions.
What's that?
I remember them asking me questions.
Okay. Again, I want to be fair in our man approach to this witness. I'm going to show you page 9, up against line 18, and then really goes down to 25. Why don't you read this and tell me if it helps your memory?
No, but you know rabbits, they're sneaky up close and personal.
Okay.
Does that help your memory? Or no?
I mean, I don't remember him saying that, but...
This, again, is the same statement that you were being truthful, honest, and
Yes.
accurate.
I'll be right back.
Your memory is just gone through a lot last
Yes.
year. And so this indicates that the detective asked you, what was the conversation like when you got back in the truck with your dad? Or your dad got back in the truck, right?
Yes.
And you described it then in some detail. You just saw that your response to that question was, he looked at me, and he was like, what do I do? And you responded, what do you mean, what do you do? And his response to that, to clarify, he said, he was like, well, do we run? And you responded to your dad, said, I'm like, no, we're staying put. He was like, yeah, you're probably right. You responded, I am right. Like, you don't run. He continued to ask you what he should do. And your response was, I don't know. I don't know. You sit here and you wait. He asked you whether he should call 911. You merely said, if you want. I don't know. Like, I literally don't know what to tell you right now. Like, I just got out of work. Like, I'm exhausted. Like, I don't know. This is your path, you said to your dad. Remember that?
I don't.
And yet, this is the accurate, complete, and honest statement you provided that night
Yes.
about the conversation you had in the cab of the truck with your dad.
Yes.
Judge, can I have this number?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Sure, thank you. Those were my questions. As you know, Mr. Sisti will likely have some follow-up.
Okay.
Thank you. After me. You doing all right?
Yeah.
How's the rabbit doing? Okay.
She's jumpy, but she's good.
Prosecutor was saying that he wanted to be fair with you. Remember that? He said that a few times?
Yes.
Prior to today, was he fair enough to give you this transcript?
I can't see that far.
Judge, I object to the characterization of the implicit being unfair.
It's close.
I never got this.
You never got this transcript?
I did not.
This transcript that the prosecutor's been using over the past 25 minutes?
No, I've never received that.
Did the police, after your statement, give you an opportunity to review your statements at all?
I don't remember, but I don't believe so.
And between the 4th of April And today, did you sit down and have a review with the prosecution on this transcript?
I did not.
So this transcript was being used for the first time that you saw it today.
Correct.
All right, we're going to go through it a little bit too, but I'm going to forget about the transcript for a second, okay?
Okay.
I want to talk about things you actually remember today. Okay?
Okay.
The ones that you're under oath to testify truthfully.
Okay.
Let me ask you, and ask you as straight as I can. Do you remember Kyle saying that he was going to fucking kill your father and you?
Yes.
Do you remember that distinctly?
Yes.
Now, when you heard that, how did that make you feel?
I was scared, obviously, because someone had just threatened me, but that had triggered my anxiety, so I kind of started to shut down and block everything out.
All right, but I want to make sure this jury knows that that's something that is crystal clear, correct?
Yes.
That is something that you surely
Great
told the police,
response.
right?
Yes.
And that is something that is ingrained in you that you can't even shake out, right?
Correct.
And it makes you nervous and anxious to this day, doesn't it?
Yes.
Is it fair to say you felt that you were threatened that night?
Yes.
Is it fair to say that you believe that you could have been subjected to serious bodily injury that night?
Yes.
Or death?
Correct.
And is that what you were worried about while you were sitting in that truck right next to your father?
I was afraid he was going to hurt us, yes.
And that was the sense that you got, correct?
Correct.
And the sense that you got with regard to death or serious bodily injury was because of the behavior of Kyle, right?
Correct.
Now, I'm going to back off this for a second because I want the jury to understand your relationship with your dad, okay?
Okay.
And again, you know, I'm sorry, okay? I mean, we're in a courtroom. This is an important case. I'm going to go right to it. You love your dad, don't you?
Of course.
And he loves you.
Yes.
I mean, he's absolutely dedicated to you, isn't he?
100% all the time.
And he's been your single-parent guy for quite a while, hasn't he?
Yes.
And why don't you tell the jury how long?
We've been on our own since I was in, I want to say, 8th or 9th grade.
Okay? And he's been taking care of you since then, right?
Yes.
I mean, he's the guy that looks out after you and, you know, takes you to school when you got to go to school, right?
Takes me everywhere. School, cheer practice, dance, competitions, everywhere.
He's a good dad, isn't he?
Yeah.
In fact, that night, he made sure to go and pick you up. I mean, it was a crummy day. It was lousy out, right?
Yeah, he wouldn't let me drive.
He was worried about your safety that whole day.
Yes.
And when you got in the truck with him that night when he picked you up, he was doing okay, right? He wasn't angry or anything, was he?
No, I mean, he was tired from working, but he wasn't angry. He wasn't anything like that.
Oh, I see. Her memory cleared right up. That's nice when it happens.
Yeah, she's just answering these questions so easily.
Poor girl having a bad hair day.
Oh my gosh.
I bet that ring on
Can
her
we
finger
just have
is
the
20
rabbit back, please? Like,
Yeah.
can we put it away? I want the rabbit
I
back.
bet that ring on her finger is a 24 carat.
Oh, stop it.
Stacy LaBruno saying, horses can be used as support animals. I want to see her right into court to testify.
Oh my God, that would be even better.
Um,
Could you imagine just the clap, 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 clap? And then it's going to take a massive crap on the floor because they just poop everywhere.
You guys were getting along just fine?
Hey, Vice Baby.
And when you started plowing, did you do a couple jobs with him before he went to your house?
I don't think so. I think we went right home.
Okay. And where were you working? Why don't you tell the jury?
I was working at a local pizza store in my hometown.
Okay. One of the local pizza places?
Yeah.
So he picks you up, and it's during that snowstorm, and you guys were going to go right home, right?
Yes.
And again, who was in the house that night? I know it was your dad and you that lived there, but who else was there?
My grandparents were downstairs, my little cousin was downstairs, and then my best friend was upstairs.
Your grandparents?
Yep.
And they care about you too?
Yes.
And Jason was taking care of them too, wasn't he?
Yes.
So he was taking care of you, he was taking care of your grandparents. How long had Jason lived in that house, do you know?
We've lived in that house since I was 2 or 3 years old.
All right, so he's been a regular fixture in that neighborhood for a couple decades, right?
Yes.
When you got in that truck that night, did you anticipate any trouble at all?
No.
It was just a regular night.
Yeah.
And when you were plowing in front of the house, was there anything weird about it? I mean, was it just the typical plowing thing that you were doing?
Yeah.
Now, the jury has seen some videos of the whole, not the whole thing, but as much as we could capture on video, okay?
Okay.
Zach
Would it
is
be fair
being
to
very
say
extra.
that you didn't capture the whole thing either?
No, I did not.
Would it be fair to say that the things that stuck out to you were the fear that it created when Kyle confronted your father?
Yes.
And the fear that it created and has been continuous with regard to the threat on your life?
I'm sorry, one more time.
The fear of the threat on your life?
Yes.
And as far as your dad was concerned, he wasn't swearing.
Jamie, be nice to Zach. He's just
I
trying
didn't
to.
say anything.
Can we try and pool some money and get him a support rattlesnake?
He needs a support scorpion.
Yeah.
Kyle, from you recall?
I didn't know that was his joke, by the way. I thought it was your joke, so I was telling you to stop it.
My dad jokes aren't that bad.
Zach can keep them coming.
He wasn't aggressive toward Kyle, was he?
I don't believe so.
In fact, Kyle came up abruptly and without any notice, correct?
Correct.
I mean, he kind of surprised you too.
Yes.
And did you notice that your father just stood up and stood in one place and didn't even move for a while?
I wasn't paying attention at that time. I was starting to get out of the truck, and that's when I noticed him. And as soon as I got back in and shut my door, I noticed my father had stepped out.
Okay, so you got out of the truck and you were just going to go in the house or something?
Yes.
And then Kyle came?
So Dad parked, and I was getting ready to get out, and as I opened my door and looked up, I realized Kyle was right there, and I just got back in the truck and shut the door.
Okay, why did you shut the door when Kyle?
Because he was right there, and I wasn't going to walk past him. I didn't know why he was over here. I didn't know what his intentions were.
All right, but then you got to hear his intentions, right?
Yes.
And he claimed that your father was plowing snow into his yard or something like that?
Correct.
But you were right in that truck, right?
Yes.
You guys weren't plowing snow into the yard?
We were not.
So did that make any sense?
This is the problem when you choose the "I don't remember anything" line, and then you get the opposite of defense dementia. All of a sudden, you remember every single little detail. He was here, he was there, he said this, he did that. You just said, "I don't know." Well, he could have been everywhere. I didn't really. I was stroking my bunny. No, that's not a euphemism. And again, now all of a sudden she could paint a picture and tell you exactly what happened. She just comes off as unbelievable, in my opinion.
No, there's a telephone pole in the way.
When you describe Kyle, would it be fair to say that he was enraged?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that he was acting really strange?
I mean, he was rocking back and forth, so I'd say he was angry.
You know, the prosecutor asked you whether or not
Oh, boy.
Kyle had anything in his hands or anything. He said he had anything. You didn't know if he had anything or not, do you?
His hands were in fists, so he had nothing in his hand. I don't know if there was anything in his pockets.
Right. You didn't know if there was anything in his pockets. Your father wouldn't have known either.
This is exactly what you said in your opening statements. Come on, you're showing that you coached her to say these things. That's... Yeah. And her friend was there. I'm going out on a limb and gonna postulate she was facilitating a lot of the snowballing that evening, just a hunch. The friend? Or this girl? I don't know. Is it weird that the friend was there when she weren't home? I don't know. We had friends staying over all the time, but that's because my mom had a... Oh, you don't get enough attention at home? Come join our family. She was a weird woman. Thank you, Brendan. Does it really matter if you read it? Read what?
Correct.
But all you guys both knew is that you were being threatened.
Correct.
And you didn't even know why. Right?
Correct.
It made no sense to you. Right?
No.
that somebody would be that enraged and that violent for no reason whatsoever, correct?
Correct.
And the reason you got back in the truck is because you were scared of Kyle.
Yes.
So this only took seconds. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And he came upon you unexpectedly, and he made a threat, and it didn't make any sense to you at all.
Correct.
The detective in the case wanted to know whether or not Kyle was close enough to your dad, or if he threw a punch, he would hit your father. And was he close enough to your dad where if he threw a punch, he would hit your father?
I believe so, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. But they were close up, right?
They were close.
Don't Google it, especially if you're Googling it in Urban Dictionary. Jamie, why do I read stuff Brandon tells me to Google?
I don't know. You should know better.
Uh,
Hi, Panilla.
you're so gross.
Yes.
And you know what? I mean, what's weird is that the jury probably has a better view of how close he was to your dad than you did, because they got to see the videos. Did you get to see any of those?
No.
Probably don't want to either.
Oh.
Now, after the shots were fired, okay, your dad drove the truck right into your driveway.
Yes.
And would it be fair to say he made no effort whatsoever to try to avoid the police?
He didn't.
In fact, he drove into the driveway. You guys, I take it, you guys were in some kind of a confused, scared state at the time.
Yes.
There was some exchange at the time, you know, should we go, should we stay?
Yeah.
But that wasn't a big thing. Your father wasn't saying, well, I'm leaving anyhow or anything.
No.
It was just something right after the fact that something came out, right?
Yes.
And what he actually did is he parked the truck and he shut it off.
He parked it. I don't remember if he turned it off or not, but he parked it.
Yeah. Were you there when the police came?
I was.
Okay. So he was with the truck. He didn't move an inch from his property, correct?
Correct.
And he was about to dial, I'm sorry, he had dialed 911. He was about to engage it, correct?
Yes.
So he was taking that affirmative act at that time to contact emergency services, right?
Yes.
And before that could even be completed, the police were there.
Yes.
And from what you saw of your dad, was he completely cooperative with the police?
Yes. As soon as he saw the blue lights, he got out with his hands up.
He had his hands right up,
Yes.
ready to go. And you were there to observe him, did he?
Don't Google snowballing at Urban Dictionary. Whenever Brandon says Google it, don't do it. And Brandon, I shared it with the mods.
Did he resist or say anything stupid to him or anything?
He didn't say anything to him. He was just outside standing with his hands up.
Did you see them escort him into a cruiser or anything like
I
that?
did not.
Okay, I mean, you were trying to stay away from this whole thing.
There was an officer talking to me, just letting me know to gather my things, and they were going to put me in the back of the cruiser.
Because they were going to take you to the police station.
Yes.
So when we're talking about, you know, recollections and what's in this transcript, it's fair to say that you didn't get to review it at the time.
Correct.
You didn't get to review it over the past year.
Correct.
And you didn't get to review it, like, before you took the stand.
Correct.
And the only time you've been seeing the stack of papers is this afternoon.
Correct.
And in all honesty, you probably did forget some stuff, right?
I'm sorry, one more
You
time?
probably did forget some stuff.
Most of it, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can be a douche nozzle and not be in pew-pewed. That's always the thing.
But what's the one thing you remember about that night, the clearest, without any question at all?
I remember him threatening us. I remember that after my dad pulled in the driveway, he got out with his hands up and didn't resist, and I remember going to the station.
And your dad would do anything to protect you, wouldn't he?
Of course he would.
And you told the police that too.
I did.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Judge. You know, on that last point, you told the police that your dad would do anything to protect you, but you also told them you didn't think you should have shot him. Correct?
I don't recall.
Pardon me?
I don't recall.
I hate it when cops do it. I hate it when pro defense people does it.
can I ask you to read that? And they asked you, and you answered, do I think you should have shot him? No. Repeat it again. Do I think you should have shot him? No. Correct?
Correct.
Isn't that based on all the facts and circumstances you knew and saw, right?
Okay.
Correct?
What are you asking? I'm sorry.
You answered them that you didn't think you should have shot him because you were there to hear and see the events, correct?
Correct.
Don't get Brandon started. It's Friday. It's bad enough as it is.
You were also asked by the police whether you were in fear of your life. And your answer was no. Because my dad was there. Is that right?
I don't recall, but that is something I would say because my dad would never let anything happen to me.
But that's, Mr. Sisney asked you a number of questions, well, sort of stated questions, answers, that you were in fear of your life, weren't you? And you answered, yeah.
I was fearful because he threatened me, but I knew my dad wouldn't let anything happen to me.
Okay. And so the officers asked specifically about that. They asked you whether you were in fear for your life. You said no, because my dad was there.
Yes.
You knew that your dad, you previously told us that you were aware your dad carried a firearm every night when he went plowing.
Yes.
You were aware that he was armed.
Yes.
They were asking you when or if Mr. Violette actually did anything, not say anything, but did anything, threatening, and you described rocking back and forth.
Correct.
Rocking back and forth, and maybe he could throw a punch.
Yes.
Okay. But that was when they were standing face to face, correct?
Correct.
When your dad shot Mr. Violette, they were not face to face.
I don't recall.
When your dad shot Mr. Violette, he could not have punched him.
I don't recall.
Oh, he could.
When your dad shot Mr. Violette, he wasn't rocking back and forth, was he?
I don't recall.
And the only time you heard a threat was when Mr. Violette was standing next to the car.
Correct.
Not when he was standing out in front of your house in the street. Not when he was pacing back and forth, correct?
Correct.
And now Mr. Sisti asked you, Attorney Sisti asked you, is it clear in your mind that he said, I'm going to fucking kill you and your family or your daughter, correct?
Yes.
The first part of that threat was, if you keep moving snow onto my property, right?
I watched it once and it's not a good movie.
I don't recall.
You certainly recall when he came over and was saying, I'm sick of you putting snow in our yard,
I
correct?
don't remember that.
Page 314, you're on that
it,
approach.
I'm pretty sure.
So this is page 3, Council 12 through 18.
Sorry?
No, she said, he said something about putting snow in their yard. She heard him or whatever, and she said, I don't remember. And I said, you just testified to it not that long ago, I swear.
Well, Jamie, she does have traumatic brain injuries.
From what?
Fluffanator has a tendency to just run at her head. So
Oh my God.
Read that yourself.
Grow up hair.
Okay.
the daughters, I no. When you had them on direct and cross, you normally don't call them back.
Remember?
Not really.
Yeah, so what you said to investigators at the time, I got back in the truck and I didn't catch all of it, but I started listening. And all I heard was, I'm sick of you putting snow in our yard, which we weren't, putting snow in his yard, whatever. And like got bits and pieces of it, and all I got was, I'm gonna fucking kill you and your daughter, that's all I got. Correct?
Correct.
So you heard something about snow getting pushed and you heard a threat.
Correct.
And after that, Mr. Violette walked away.
I believe so. I don't remember.
And you at the time said to the officers that he pulled a gun and that Mr. Violette was heading back towards his own home.
He was walking.
Described it to the officers as running.
Okay.
Fair, walking quickly back to his...
I don't remember.
Okay.
I just don't find it funny. Everyone else is always, oh, it's the best movie in history, and it's just a boring movie. I think it's because you all watched it when you were in college and you were high as F. I'm just, it's not that interesting.
The issue about, what your dad did, pulling back into the driveway, he didn't end up running, but he did have the conversation with you about whether he should, right?
Apparently, yes.
And how old were you at the time when he's asking you whether he should run after shooting a man in the street?
I was 19.
And it was you who answered him, no, stay right here.
Correct.
I've shown you the transcript a number of times. This is a transcript that you have said is a statement from a complete and honest account. Anything about seeing that transcript look unfair to you?
I probably know more American history than most Americans.
Yeah,
Maybe,
you do.
maybe I just need to go to one of the states where it's legal to huff, huff, puff, puff, and then watch it and understand how great a movie it is.
No.
And my understanding over the past year is you haven't really wanted to talk to anybody about any of this, correct?
I haven't been offered.
You haven't wanted to either, correct?
I didn't go out and reach out, no.
No. I'm not suggesting you should, but you have communicated to people that you really don't want to talk about this, correct?
In public.
And there's nothing about the transcripts that we've used to help with your memory or to give an account of statements that you made that is inaccurate, correct?
One more time?
There's nothing about these statements that I've shared with you that you've had an opportunity to look at that is inaccurate, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Actually, you wouldn't know if there's inaccuracies in it or not because they haven't given it to you.
Correct.
That's an interesting question. You haven't reviewed it, right?
No, I haven't seen it.
Right.
No, her memory loss is too fundamental.
Let's go to page 21. All right, and I want to ask you something, okay? Nobody wants to shoot anybody anytime, right?
No.
And you're sitting there and you're saying to yourself, it's terrible that somebody shot somebody, right?
Correct.
And you wish that something like that would never happen, right?
100%.
Right. But that night it did, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's something that's out of character for your father, right?
Correct.
I'm going to object, Your Honor. Approach.
Speculation. I don't like her. Would she have been able to plead the fifth? No, because she's not incriminating herself. The fifth is to defend yourself for self-incrimination. It's not to protect your family. And if you're subpoenaed, you must answer. But you can do like her and just forget everything when the wrong people are asking. You could probably treat her as a hostile witness and stuff like that, but again, why? They have a pretty good case. And her acting like this on the stand also shows the jury that she's clearly not the most trustworthy person.
Officer, that previous question was asked, now withdrawn. I'm instructing you that the answer was given to that previous question disregarded about it. Period. Thanks.
Now, you were basically in shock after the court.
Yes.
And your father was acting nervous, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Isn't it only to protect yourself from self-incrimination? Well, no, you can't just... She's not a...
He didn't know what to do, right?
No.
Both of you were there wondering what just happened, right?
Yes.
And the fact of the matter is that the detective that night basically asked you some questions about that situation, and one of them was that
Hey, Baker,
when he ultimately shot.
Hey, Jamie.
remember when the lady pled the fifth on her sexual partners in that one case?
Yeah, we didn't cover that case. We saw the clip where the lady pled the fifth.
No, it
we
was
did watch
that-
it.
Yeah.
It was the short bus people who were.
No. It was the immigrant guy. But remember, the lady was on the stand, and they're like, "Did you have a sexual relationship?"
Yeah, did you have a sexual relationship
guy-
with him? I plead the fifth. Oh, you
I
can't
plead
do
the
that.
fifth. You yelled, "You can't plead the fifth on your sexual partners." Oh, sorry, that just made me think of that.
The neighbor, okay?
Hey, no.
Was it wrong at any point in there? And he said, do I think he should have? No. Do I think he was just reacting out of someone threatening his kid? I think that is, we all react in different ways.
I think they might also have gotten a little bit leeway because the judge also sees she's lying her butt off.
I think he was just, in the end, trying to make sure I didn't get hurt. And I know he will do anything to keep me protected. Do I think he should have shot him? No.
Yeah, that was the ex-wife who banged everyone. Yeah, El Gordita.
I think it was his just automatic response of my kid's in the car. I need to protect her. Yes. Is that your opinion today?
Yes.
Right. Was there any question in your mind that your father utilized that firearm to protect you?
Yes, that's all he was doing, was protecting me.
And was he protecting you because you were clearly threatened by somebody?
Yes.
And it scared you?
Yes.
And he was trying to take care of you?
Correct.
And he wasn't close to you.
There's nothing wrong about that, is there?
No.
I move to strike, Your Honor. It's the conclusion for the jury, whether there's something wrong with it.
Everything.
Yes.
She was Schrodinger scared. Yeah, that was. Iris laughed her behind off when they called her La Gordita. And everyone was, oh, that's mean. No, that's Mexican. Where is Iris? Have you heard from Iris?
Yeah, she texted me. I think she's on a flight coming back.
Oh, yeah, she sent me a picture 2 days ago from a car.
Oh, because she said something about the in-flight movie. Some in-flight movie. So I was just assuming she's flying
Did
somewhere.
you get to see
Either
any
she's
movies
coming
now
home.
you were afraid that there wouldn't be any entertainment?
There wasn't very many good ones. There was I picked like I tried to find some ones that were really long since it was like an 8-hour flight or 9-hour flight-ish, sort of. So I watched like Jurassic Park, and guess what they had on there? Lord of the Rings, your favorite.
You could have watched them and you had a great sleep.
I know.
Thanks very much. Can you put us excuse?
Yes, Raphael.
Yeah. Ma'am, thank you.
Thank you.
She's been in the north of England last week. Craven, yeah. I looked at what Delta had. Oh, see you, Bunny. Saw what Delta had. They had-
Bye, Bunny.
I'm just trying to get a sense of timing here.
Was Craven good? Or is it just, I think Marvel movies have really fallen off on it.
Yeah,
I
they're
should
not
make a channel
impulsive
saying
anymore.
Marvel sucks. It works for so many people.
I'm not impressed with what they've been putting out lately. So
I haven't watched, I think the last feature I watched was...
Ourselves, that's 2:30 at this point. It's time for another break. So we're going to take a 10-minute recess. Give you a chance to stretch your legs.
10-minute recess. I think the
Well,
last
in
one I
that-
saw was maybe Endgames was the last Marvel movie I saw, and then I liked the Wonder Vision show. I didn't like the ending because it was kind of okay. She enslaved an entire city. It's not. On this channel, both Jamie and I are very much against slavery. But
I,
I think that's the
I don't
what's
know
last.
his backstory, but as far as I know, I thought he was supposed to be a bad guy, and they made him kind of into a good guy, and so I don't
Yeah,
really.
Craven the Hunter is known for trying to kill Spider-Man.
Well, he didn't seem like he was a bad guy, and it didn't seem like they're turning him into a bad guy. So that's kind of a bummer then.
Yeah, they're afraid of doing making a bad guy movie.
Yeah.
But that was the same with Black Adam when The Rock did that because he wanted to be The Rock in the movie, so he couldn't be Black Adam because he's also a very bad guy. I didn't watch the movie. As an American, I'm going to keep this 100. The Big Lebowski is not a good movie. Talking about 100.
What exhibit are you referring to?
I'm going to make this 100, Your Honor.
All right.
100.
100.
Because it is 100%.
100%.
correct.
Checking your other.
Oh my God, Baker. Baker's a clairvoyant.
I'm Jimmy. How y'all doing? Yes.
When did you first meet Maureen?
This is the summer of 14.
And where did you meet her?
No, we're not done. He's just playing clips.
Yeah. You like Craven. Okay. It's Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, but it's a sideshow to the main MCU, so I don't see him as the same. No, she had high anxiety.
Yeah.
If you watch all 3 Lord of the Rings, that should just about cover the flight. No? How long was the flight? She didn't fly twice around the world. She only flew to the US. So she could watch one extended cut. Well, she couldn't even do that. Every one of these. Oh, you have to watch the director's edition. It's 24 hours long. Yeah, but Peter Jackson makes the commentary. I don't care. It's a movie about walking.
I only think they had the one on there, and I only seen it the when I was on the flight home. And I think the total flight from Amsterdam, because it was Amsterdam to Detroit as well, I flew. It was like 7:50, like 7 hours 50 minutes.
Yeah, that's probably I think. Well, I'm flying Helsinki this time, so that's gonna be longer. But I think it's 7.5 hours when I fly from London, so that's probably the right thing.
So I was trying to look for like really long movies, but they didn't have a lot of good choices. I think I ended up with like Jurassic Park was one of them. I just put on.
I watched King of Tulsa because they only have like 3 episodes of the shows, or maybe 1 cut into 3. So I watched King of Tulsa. That was pretty good. I watched Mayor of Kingstown. That's a pretty good one too. Did I watch a movie? I think I fell asleep to a movie.
Oh yeah, they had TV shows too.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of different TV shows. That was the fanciest flight I've ever been on, I will say.
Yeah, and you were on business, so imagine.
Yeah, Wi-Fi, and you get served food and stuff.
Yeah, of course, you're flying for 8 hours. Of course, you're served food.
Well, even the snacks were better than like the other flights I've been on. And they give you like drinks like all day long. Even though they only give you like a little tiny cup of something.
I hate those little Coke bottles. It's 1 sip. And when you say, can I just have 2? No, 1 at a time. Okay. And then I just pressed the buzzer and said, can I have 1 more? And then she got mad and she gave me 2 the rest of the time.
Yeah. I know, because I wanted water. I was so thirsty, and they just give you that little cup of water, and then it's like, well, can you just give me the bottle? Can I buy the bottle? I don't even care. And they're like,
Well,
no.
you're a lawyer, so you're probably talking her to death if before you start flying. So she's shut up.
It's just like, give this guy whatever he wants.
Finally, one who hates the Lord of the Rings as much. I don't hate it. It's just boring movies, and it's way overhyped. But it's such a great movie. No, the story is super basic. The books are okay. Not The Hobbit. The Hobbit is one of the worst children's book ever written. But it's all those 7 plot lines running. You never know where you are. Well, that's a great part. No, it's lazy writing. It's kind of like George R. Martin, who has so many plot lines that he just stopped writing Game of Thrones because I don't know where it's going. The only time I drink German beer is on airplane two or from Europe. I don't normally drink a lot of alcohol because, like Jamie, I get parched.
I do. I get so thirsty.
Yeah, that's why you always buy a couple of bottles of water in the airport.
Hmm. And man, that sparkling water right off the plane was that's the worst, my worst nightmare.
Well, Valhalla wakes and Shaq. Just because you're wrong, you're still allowed to be here. Hey, the grandbaby is growing and he is starting to eat solid food, so he is doing wonderful. And they are now trying to wean him off using his mom as a pacifier. So that's going to be a fun couple of days.
Oh boy.
You still heard from Game of Thrones. The first 5 series of Game of Thrones were good series, and then they just fell off a cliff when there was no more material. But I actually think that was a pretty good show. House of Dragon, I watched most of the first season, really didn't get into it. It didn't have the characters like Game of Thrones had. I maybe it's because I read the book and knew everyone died. Oh, spoiler alert.
I haven't seen any of them, so
You haven't seen any of the Game of Thrones?
nope.
Jamie, that's like a cultural thing.
I don't know. I just
Imagine Lord of the Rings just good.
well then
There's titlets, there's fighting, there's decapitations, all the good stuff.
sounds amazing.
There's even a peen.
One
Yeah,
single peen.
Yeah, well, it's a big one, and it gets chopped off.
That's unfortunate.
Well, I don't see him enough, but he's doing great. I was leaving Amsterdam and was about to get rid of my beer to board another flight, and they absolutely insisted I keep it. Gotta love it. Why should, if you board it in the airport, you can bring it on the plane. It's not that big of a problem. Congratulations, Special K. Welcome in the club. 6 weeks early, that's very early. I was actually in court earlier this week with a lady who we were going out on a break, and we don't have our phones, of course, in court. She pulled up her phone and she said, "Oh, it looks like I'm about to be in Denmark. We don't call it grandparents. We call it mother, father, mother, mother, or father, 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 mother." And she said, "Oh, I'm about to become a father, mother." And we were like, "What?" She went into labor. No, she's gonna have an emergency C-section. So we're like, "Oh, so you really want us to hurry up?" It probably would be nice, but yeah. No, no talking dragons. That's the Hobbit. That's Smaug. I think, yeah, probably season 4 is where it kind of slowly, and then 5 and 6 was okay, and the last 2 seasons were just horrible. Just don't get the ice in your drinks on planes. I mostly never get ice in my drinks. I don't like drinking things that's too cold. That's why I hate going to McDonald's and places like that, because it's always 75% ice in your cups. That's why I like to buy stuff at gas stations in America, because you can just don't get the ice. But you know me, I don't drink cold beer either. I drink chilled beer, not cold beer.
I know, listen to him, Jess. And yes, Danny T. Oh, the pellet ice. The little baby ices.
What's pellet ice?
The little small ices.
Are you drunk?
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah, the small ice.
Yeah, the little tiny ones. They
So
look
just
like
ice
little...
cubes smashed.
Look it up. Yeah, they're like little pea size. Like pea size ice cubes.
I don't like pea in my soda.
Oh my gosh. Are you
You're
sure?
behind, but how did she know who was in the house when they got home to make her so afraid for her friends, cousins, grandparents, etc.? Well, she's just been to her job, and then she knew who was in the house. It's who doesn't call home and say who's at the house right now in case we are getting into something cray-cray. I always do that. There's no one home because I live by myself, but still, I do it. I have Sonic Ice. I don't know what that is. You can always order no ice or easy on the ice. Yeah. Jamie, you know about the stupid straws we have in Denmark?
Oh my God, they have paper straws. That was annoying.
When I got to the city where my car was, I thought, you need a milkshake, because I saw that McDonald's had banana milkshakes.
Mm-hmm.
And you take 2 sips, and then it just squishes the straw.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking, okay, I'm going to leave it a little bit so it can get thinner, and then turn the straw around. So I hate Europe.
Yeah, we got a drink or something, and I was like, what is this nonsense? Because the minute you get it wet, it just starts to disintegrate.
Crushed ice from Sonic, not available in Denmark. Oh, that's... When I saw that we're beginning to, well, it's a couple of years back, but they started selling ice cubes on bags like they do in the US, I was like, how lazy can you be? You just buy those bags, invented by a Danish guy, pour water in it and throw it in your freezer. It's not that bad.
He does need contraband straws expert.
It's so stupid because this is a reusable straw, so I can have a reusable silicone plastic straw. All the straws I use at my house are reusable because they're perfectly legal, but you can't have one-time use straws in plastic.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I need them for my milkshakes. No, it's McDonald's, so it's a paper wrapper. Yeah, I don't get how they... Oh, it's so much better. No, it's not. It's just as big a waste. Yeah, the cardboard ones. I've never seen them in wooden, but yeah. You know who has reusable straws? My wife.
Oh, I bought a bunch at the store a while back for everything because I love straws.
Well, I do have them in my house, but it's just I don't bring them to my McDonald's when I'm half an hour away from my house and think I have a hankering for a milkshake. Reusable straws spread pigeon media. Yeah, but I don't live in Texas. I live in a place where 75 degrees is too hot.
So, as sometimes is the case in trials, we've run into a little bit of a scheduling snafu in terms of witness availability. The result of
Why?
which is we're going to take we're going to end early today. So we're going to stop today at this point. Good news, it's a beautiful day out there, so you can enjoy the afternoon weather. We will resume on Monday morning at 10 o'clock. As you've been told, Monday's a short day. We're going to be going from 10 till noon, and then we're going to be done on Monday. I will tell you, even though we're stopping short today, and we've had a number of other delays, we are still well on track to finish this case on time. In fact, we may even finish this case, I won't make promises we can't keep, but we may even finish it earlier than we anticipated when we first scheduled this case. So everything is fine in terms of scheduling. So I'm going to be releasing you for the rest of the day. I need to just remind you of all the instructions I've given you in the past. I know I'm repeating myself. Do not speak about this case either amongst yourselves or with anyone else. Do not do any independent research about this case in any format or any way or manner. And do not view any media accounts or social media discussions or anything like that about this case. Try to stay away from it, which hopefully you'll have a nice weekend and you won't have to concern yourself with it at all. All right? Is there anything else in the parties?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you, folks. We'll see you on Monday.
Oh,
Well, at
Lord.
least I get to go and watch some TV tonight.
Yeah.
Because we have done the sign-off thing. I'm going to go pour a beer, Jamie. Can you entertain the troops while I'm away?
Go for it.
And if Valhalla is listening, I sent you a link if you're going to do the Friday beer with me and Brandon.
Like, I don't, like, do they only, I mean, really, they only need the victim guy. Like, why can't he, is he there? Is he not? I would be sitting in that courtroom wanting to see everything go down. So that is weird. I for sure thought we were going to get him today. Did we only have like the one guy, two people? Yeah, two people. I know he's as bad as the Karen Reed case when we were stopping every 5 seconds. I know. Well, hurry up, Val. Then you guys can have fun and I'll jump off, finish working for the day. But Baker's got his panel show this weekend, 8 p.m. Eastern time, if you guys didn't hear, on Sunday. He's going to be talking Karen Reed with Andrea Burkhart and Val. And then, do we have anything else this weekend, guys, other than movie night? Because we do our movie night on Sundays also on the Discord at 4 p.m. Eastern. We're doing Smokey and the Bandit and Maximum Overdrive. So join the Discord and come have fun with us this weekend. Oh yeah, and I forgot about Stabber Day. Thanks, guys, because we haven't done it in so long. We'll be doing Stabber Day tomorrow at 9 a.m. I don't know if he's got a guest or if it's just us. I think it's just going to be us. Nemo and Baker.
I do have a guest, but it's a
Who?
surprise.
Oh.
So, is Valhalla getting out of bed?
He said give him a minute, but
He's out fondling his goat. No,
Oh,
that's not a
and
euphemism.
and Jess said they're doing their Stitch and Bitch tonight in the Discord also at 6. Is it 6, Jess?
So 6 o'clock, if you want to go in and meet the lovely ladies who run this show and yells at me, go to Snits and Bits on the Discord. If you're not a member of the Discord, it's a good place to at least hang out to get notifications. And you'll find out we have quite a weird community, and they are really funny to hang out with.
Yeah.
Discord is free. The only thing, if you are joining, you might be asked a question if you don't have the same username. If you want to join, you can do it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we do all kinds of stuff in the Discord. There's
I can't
all the
even spell
case.
Discord.
Jeez, oh, Pete. We do a lot of voice chats. We have a lot of fun in there, and we have our movie night, and all the cases that we do, we keep chats in there so people can go in and chat about it and post things. So it's always fun.
I want to see Cross Stitch by Brandon. This one I call snowballing. Jamie, look at this. And then hear Jamie screaming. Well, check the Discord when you're done, because of course I shared it.
I've seen enough of this BS. Lefty did it to me back in the day.
What Lefty do?
Jeez, scared me. Making it you too. You were there. You're Googling stuff. All kinds of things.
I do remember.
What's that? Oh, I think I'm traumatized.
It was amazing. See, this isn't working. This lighting isn't working. I tried something new. I don't like it.
James Bond, if you have another username, people will ask, because you'll get into the foyer and they'll say, what do you call yourself on YouTube? And you'll say, I'm Bond. James Bond.
Oh, I got pit stains. Horrible decision. Horrible decision.
Did you just say you have pit stains?
Well, it's, I'm sweating a little. It's hot. It's like 78 degrees outside right now. It's amazing. So we had some good ones. I don't like this lighting at all. This is terrible.
Yeah, it looks like you're sitting in a basement.
Yeah, I was trying to do something new, but it's not. It's not right.
Yeah,
it's not right. I got to work on it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna peace out. You guys have fun. I'm gonna finish working for the day. Happy Friday.
See you tomorrow, Jamie. And the link is in the Mo and Jamie chat. Just so
you're not even going to stick around for the chugging of the beer. Like, it's literally the last 30 seconds of this show, and you're just going to leave.
Oh my God!
Just going to leave us before we peace out. Oh my God, Jamie! Listen, I know you don't like me anymore. I don't know why you don't like me anymore, but I know you don't like me anymore, and it makes me sad, Jamie. You can't come on Karen Reed streams anymore. You just leave because I'm there. I don't like it. Chat. Tell her, chat. Tell her, chat.
I don't want to. I won't be a snitch, but let's just say things were mentioned in Copenhagen.
Were they? Because I don't think so. I don't think we talk shop. I think we were just dealing with what our real life stuff.
Cheers. I gave you a head start and I still beat you.
Well, it got a little foamy towards the bottom. And it's so cold, Baker. It's so cold.
Yeah, that's why I have my Friday beers on a shelf next to the fridge.
Well, you're smarter than me.
Hey, that's why I live stream 8 hours a day, and yeah, really smart.
I live streamed like 4 hours last night.
Yeah, I saw it when I woke up this morning, but I accidentally wandered into the experts Discord.
Ooh, that's a dangerous place.
Yeah, talk about mine being a bit weird. Don't go to it.
Oh, yeah, you're not supposed to call the Discord weird. You're supposed to call it like unique or one of a kind.
It's uniquely weird.
Yeah, well, no, that's bad. That's weird has a negative connotation. Would you like me to pull up the goat cam real quick before we get out of here for the weekend?
If you have a goat cam.
I do. I just got to turn off the night vision.
Autistic riddled is what I have to call it. That's the experts.
Autistic riddled. Terrible.
Who did my music intro? I did. I use Suno to make the music, and then I use something else to make the lyrics, and then I just fool around till I find it okay, and then I make the video after.
Wrong one. Almost there. Almost there. Ah, you can't really see the baby at the moment. That sucks.
Well, Brandon, get some Pilsner. Those are the easiest to pound.
We got to just share a window. It probably won't have sound. You can't even see the baby, though.
Isn't that one the one in the left corner?
That's the mom.
Oh.
Oh, hell would I do?
False advertising again.
I promised goat cam. I didn't promise baby goat.
Oh, of course, right. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? This camera covers literally 99% of this stall. Like, you see the board in the bottom left corner that's right here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a corner trough, right? It's about, I don't know, 20 inches long. There's a little corner right here with a little bit of a little trough. And that's the only piece of the room you can't see. Like, the wall is right here. It's right there.
And it's still hit.
Yeah. Baby's doing her thing.
She's probably breastfeeding or hiding in the crate.
No, she's leaning up against that wall down there. I almost guarantee it. Otherwise, we'd see her.
Yeah, you are the baby animal provider.
Well, maybe I'll start a stream up and let it play for a while till she wakes up. I don't know.
What brand of camera?
Z-Moto. Z-Moto.
Not sponsored
Dave,
on
MLS
this channel.
actually bought this and sent it to me. It's got this, and it's got a night vision camera. The night vision camera is phenomenal too. Let me show you. I can control it from my phone. Pretty dope. Night vision. Here's the night vision. It'll take a second or two to click over. So the night vision is a phenomenal quality as well.
Yeah, and it's not normally if you have night vision on in daytime, it's going to be really bad. So that's
right.
Actually pretty good.
I think it's infrared, I think. But it's pretty dope.
There's no heat signature.
Huh? Oh, maybe you're right. I don't know what it is.
You used glow up night visions.
Somebody was saying infrared last night in chat, so I just went with it. I don't really know what it is. It's not like a normal night vision, though.
Quali is 1 a.m. your time, Eastern. Yeah.
Quali for what?
It's 6 my time, so it's 1 a.m. your time. Qualifying for Formula One.
Oh.
So
the fast go-karts?
No, the cars that can go both ways, both right and left, not like American cars who I'm going left.
Yeah,
again.
no. They're the really fast go-karts. That's all they are. They're really fast. I'll give you that. And they're
320 kilometers or something like that.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
I can remember one Grand Prix, I believe was it Hungary or somewhere, a bolt fell off a car and skipped and hit the driver behind in the helmet. He passed out and
oh my God.
Got a severe concussion.
Yeah. Yeah, anything traveling that fast is going to cause a lot of damage.
It's a bolt that's this size, and it just hit him, boink, and he was just out. And he passed out, and he just went straight into a wall.
Did he made it, obviously? So that's lucky, I guess.
Yeah, I think he got a severe concussion, and he might have broken an arm or something when he hit the wall. So 1.5 liter 4-cylinder. No, it's they're going 8
cylinder or
cylinders, I
something
think.
crazy, right?
6 or 8. But you had that that crash a few years ago where, and that's a long time since I've seen that in racing, where it burst into flames. And I thought he was gone because he went under. It looked like he had been under the security railing. So you just thought he's cut up.
There's
But it
nothing.
must have flipped and ripped the car open. And then it started burning. And it was just him in his seat. And then everything in front of him was gone. And they come running in and start with the fire extinguisher. And when you look at it, it feels like it's years. And then you just see something moving inside all of these flames. And
I think I've seen that the highlight
it's
or whatever.
so crazy.
Yeah, he gets out and he's like perfectly fine, walks away, waves. It's like, oh my god.
His hands were burned. That was all. So even though it looks really thin, those suits are pretty good.
Yeah, that's what they're made for. Made by smart people like NASA or something.
Yeah,
there's
probably
the baby.
The ARCA guys.
Probably actually. There's the baby. Look how cute she is, y'all. Well, thanks, Mom. You'll get another view at her in a second.
That was Romain Grosjean. Yeah.
Was that a word I was supposed to understand?
Yeah, Romain Grosjean. He was the driver.
Oh, that's his name? Good Lord. I feel bad for that kid in like elementary school trying to learn how to spell that nonsense. Terrible.
It's Romain, like the salad.
Romaine?
Yeah.
Like the lettuce?
But then you just say it in French, and then it's Romain.
Oh, that's why it sounds so gay. Come on, Alice. Watch out. Dang. So Mama's got like these silver spots on her. Alice is really pretty, by the way. These are kind of a silver gray, and then she's got the white, right? The baby, haven't noticed any of the silver gray. It's all just white so far. Haven't got to spend a whole lot of time with her either, though, so she might have some silver in there. Hummus. That'd be terrible. Terrible. Alice, watch out, Mama.
She's like, nope, you're not looking. Oh, look at that little one.
She's got a bunch of pretty little spots all over her.
That's cool.
Yeah. She was kind of a surprise.
This is what's left of his car that's ripped just in front of the driver's... No, this one. Ripped just in front of the driver's seat. I think this is him coming out of the rest of the car.
Oh, yeah. You can see like a shape standing up in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
What's most impressive...
These things... Go ahead.
The seat is gone, so it's ripped. The rear part is ripped off and went through the barrier over here. But it's still strong enough to... He didn't have any injuries. It's so crazy.
They're just a motor attached to a roll bar or a roll cage. That's what they are. I mean, those in like those the supermoto motorcycles or whatever, the dragster.
That's
ones.
crazy.
Oh my god, dude! You're just
they go
holding on
just
to the
as
top of
fast,
an
but they
engine.
have no protection.
That's nuts. There's no way. No way.
That's so crazy.
I like motorcycles, and I don't want to ride that thing.
No. And you see them slip, and they just boop, 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 jump off.
Terrible.
Help me, Tom Cruise. But Valhalla and I will be back Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern with the lovely Angela Burkhardt. I will be back with the lovely Mo and Jamie tomorrow for Stabby Day at 9 a.m. Eastern. Valhalla, do you have anything over the weekend?
Yeah, pull it back up real quick. pull that screen back up real quick. I will probably be doing a couple more baby goat cams now that we've got it set up, and it seems to be working a lot better with the new setup in the new stall. Friday night I'll be on FNL, of course. Sunday 8 p.m. both of our channels here with Andrea Burkhart. That's going to be amazing. And then I don't have anything else scheduled until next weekend.
Tuesday, where you are covering Karen Reed.
Yep, I got a stream on Tuesday with Baker right here. And then I've got next Saturday night, Vice Babies coming on Lego. So that'll be a good time. And we have Rosalind scheduled down the road, but she's scheduled and that's going to be a good one too.
Karen Reed Wednesday as well.
Dang it. And Wednesday as well.
Love y'all. Enjoy your Friday. See y'all.
What exhibit are you referring to?
I'm going to make this 100, Your Honor.
All right.
100.
100.
Because it is 100%
100%.
correct.
So you literally built a cannon?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Go
All right, I'm in love.
back. Please do that again. Oh, that was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
While I'm waiting for this, did you, whether it's true or not, believe that Mr. Randolph had slept with your wife?
I wouldn't have cared.
You wouldn't have cared?
No.
Did you believe he had slept with your wife?
No.
Did you believe he slept with your mother-in-law?
Probably did. Everybody has.